Hi, welcome back to Center Star's channel. I'm Chris, Center Star, and today I'm going to talk to you about a few things. But if you could do me a favor and subscribe, click the bell notification, like this, and if you feel so inclined, share this, that would be great. We're trying to reach that 1,000 subscribers as soon as we can, and then shoot up from there. What I need to talk to you about today is keeping an open mind. And I'm going to try my hardest not to look over here, but to look over here at the camera. Even though I can't see myself, it seems a little awkward, so it looks more engaging. And I'll do my best. So, basically, what you need to do is keep an open mind, alright? If you come into this with the mindset that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or none of this could be true because I was taught it somewhere else, then a different way, you've already defeated yourself. If you come into this with my religion is the one way, the only way, you've already defeated yourself. Everybody has different beliefs, and I respect those beliefs, but I didn't get where I got in this series that you'll be watching by keeping a closed mind. I had to step outside the box of what I thought was normal. As a matter of fact, when I first started this, I set out to prove the Bible, and it was just boom, one thing after another, after another, after another, and I've grown so much from watching this. Another thing is this stuff is all verifiable by looking around and researching yourself. The difference is that most of us can't put this stuff together. We don't know how to take this piece of information from over here, put it with this piece of information from over here, and get a bigger picture. And people are afraid to step outside the box and put out hypotheses for pure rejection. And I've dealt with plenty myself. And when you have that happen, you've got to not be a narcissist. You've got to keep an open mind, but also stick to your guns a little bit if you feel it's right. And somebody hasn't presented clear enough evidence for you to sway your mind. So I ask you to do that with me as well. I want you to think about what I teach you and how that works. Okay, so another thing is that once this stuff will start to click into you and into your mind, you will definitely deal with some disbelief, and you'll deal with some confusion. But once this really sets in, you'll be kind of upset and sad and say, why was I lied to? And the best answer I have for you is, were you lied to? And the answer is yes and no. See, there's probably very few people in this world that understand this fully, okay? And I don't understand everything fully. As much as I've learned, I'm sure I'm off base because a lot of it is from doing research, and that research leads to a certain point, and I feel that I'm one of the only people to have unlocked everything into that point. But that doesn't mean that the information that's put out there is 100% correct in the right order. So I'm going to be giving you a hypothesis based on everything that I know from research that I've done, and weeding out what doesn't fit and what isn't right. Not just because it doesn't fit with my beliefs, but what doesn't fit scientifically, okay, and factually or spiritually. I weigh all of those factors in when I look at it. Let me give you an example of. Oh no! Well, let me keep going back to this. The thing is that the rest of the people, even your instructors, are ignorant to these things. Okay, I showed my boy's principal this, and she wants me to write a book. So, it's pretty exciting. I don't know if that offer's still available, but she said she knew somebody that might be able to help me. But the thing is that she was so impressed with it and couldn't believe that she had never noticed that before. And that's the thing. The teachers are taught what you're taught in school, and they're taught to teach it, and they're taught the same way that you were, where if you raise your hand and you have a question and they can't answer it, they're going to revert back in a round, twisted way that's going to kind of embarrass you in front of your peers. And bounce it back in your face with the exact same facts they fed you in the first place. And at this point, you just shut up with embarrassment because everybody's staring at you like, can we move on? We have more information to gather. We want to get a good grade. So that's part of it. People get trapped in a loophole. Another part of it is that, let's say with, we'll just use religion for example. A big part of it with religion is that the Bible, for instance, says that everything that's there is written here, and to look outside of that is a sin, and anything besides that is blasphemy. So there's some, spiritual holdback too, and so we kind of have stayed at the same level. While all of our technology and things have peaked and gone way up, our scientific knowledge is just kind of flat-planed. And in the last 10 years, with me and some other people, it started to do this again. And you're going to see that. And I was on a scientific channel just yesterday after a gal named Mandy in my group showed me. And although they had the incorrect image on one of them, they were showing Titans. And so people were scoffing at it. But this was on a scientific group on Facebook. And I was just like, yeah, cool. It's starting to get out there. This is a 2.8 million member group. And so, yeah, it's exciting. The stuff that people are unturning. I just wanted to get with you with that. And the example that I was going to use is when I was young and I raised my hand one time. I remember very specifically in science. We were being taught about moisture and evaporation and condensation and then water falling. And I raised my hand and I asked the teacher, if we have cold air at the North Pole all the time, why is it that we have snow clouds and clouds developing at the North Pole without the seawater getting close to the cold, condensing and falling in rain just at the very edge? And they didn't really have an answer for it. Now, I expected them to say that there was something else. In my mind, I thought because of the Bible and the firmament, there must be a big, huge freshwater spring with a big hole and some kind of form of light, maybe the core peeking out, creating our Aurora Borealis. And some of that was correct and some of that was incorrect. And I'll get into that throughout this series. But I was immediately shot down because the teacher just really didn't have an answer. They said evaporation at the lakes and stuff. And I said, that's got to be quite a bit to do that. And you need pretty warm water coming out in the mist to create snow. That's how we create artificial snow up here. And the teacher was like, yeah, but I've already explained to you, so we need to move on. And there was giggles and chuckles of the kids in class. And so that's a prime example of somebody reaching for something and feeling for something they don't feel is right. The explanation is off. And they're being shot down. Another example is we were talking about polar reversal, and I went up to my science teacher after class and they said, okay, so if the Earth is essentially a bar magnet and some kind of comet comes by and goes by the Earth, it could potentially flip its poles. And he said, well, that's a really good thought, but comets aren't magnetic, so good try, but that's probably not going to work. And it was much later that I figured out it's not going to be a comet, it's going to be a moon or a planet, a rogue moon or a planet, or binary solar system going by. So you guys, just like I said, strap in for this series. I've got to cut this now before the 10-minute mark. So love y'all, family. Share this, like this, notifications, all that stuff. And peace.